Hey my little e-commerce monkeys, so today I'm going to give you guys some tips about how you can tell your customer as much as you can about your product using your lead image. So here we are, another week, another video, and hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some more value for your e-commerce store in terms of how you market yourselves. So today we're going to talk about the lead image for your product. So as you know, each product has a lead image when you have your listing. That's the first image that people see when they're scrolling through Amazon or your own personal e-commerce store, whatever it might be. It's really important, as you guys are already aware, no doubt, that this lead image is super strong, but it needs to not just be a nice looking image, it needs to be attractive and it needs to be informative. That's really key. It needs to be as informative as possible, especially if your product isn't super straightforward, like a spatula, for example. So I've shot an absolute ton of workwear over the years. This is, work pants, work shorts, work boots, all of this kind of malarkey. Some of it's very challenging to shoot, so it's good. It often goes to a professional photographer like myself. If it's high vis, for example, high vis is very difficult to shoot. So work boots is generally what I've been shooting for, well, years now, probably 7 years, a lot of this kind of work. So this client here, we shoot the work boots from 6 different angles. This is their USP. You might ask, why on earth do you shoot the sole of the boot? This is really important for some people who need a non-slip sole, and also for people like electricians who need to confirm with the printing on the sole of the boot that it is in fact non-conductive material. So showing the outside of a shoe is an industry standard, but with work boots, the easy access zip side is arguably the most important feature for tradies who need to go in and out of their clients' homes a lot, for example, such as handymen and electricians who work in the domestic space. So as I say, typically you're going to see the outside view of the shoe because this is what typically looks nicest. That's what people are looking at. But with these, it's really key. What we decided we needed to do for the actual for the lead shot was to show the inside of the boot. And as you can see here, this is the zip side. It shows the zip side, and immediately, without even needing to click on the listing, the customer is able to actually confirm for themselves that the boot does in fact have zip side entry. And so then they're going to either keep scrolling if they don't particularly want that, or they'll be able to click in and get more information if a zip side boot is what they're after. So really disregarding industry tradition and disregarding the actual aesthetics of each shot, we really needed to make sure that the story was told regarding which angle we chose for this particular product. This is super important, and literally this is a perfect example of what would make or break a product conversion in terms of the sale. Next example for you guys, it's not glamorous, but it is a premium dog blanket. And this is a really good example because we've got 2 shots here. So the first shot was what the client asked for, which was a dog blanket just rolled up. So because shooting them flat, it's just a little bit, it looks odd. I mean, we did it to show the texture, but we wanted to shoot them rolled up. So we've got that nice consistent sort of crop for the product shot in terms of the lead image. But I suggested we fold back one of the corners as a B option, which actually demonstrates the type of fabric that the blanket is made of. So as you can see, this underside of the blanket is a different fabric to the top, which kind of gives a little hint to the fact that this is in fact a waterproof backing. So if the dog were to urinate, or just the general oils from the fur that are always coming through the blankets, this is an amazing feature of these premium dog blankets that protects the surface that the blanket has been put on. So the client ended up really liking that idea, liking the shot, and she ended up going ahead with that folded over corner shot as her lead image because it told more of a story than the regular image. So my final example, and it's a little bit of a weird one, but that's okay. You're going to come to know and love me that I'm a bit of a weird guy. But so the year was 2020. And a pandemic was sweeping the earth, and it was not the one that you're probably thinking of. It was one that the media, at least here in Australia, briefly dubbed dildo-pocalypse. And it is what you might think. Everyone was at home during all of these lockdowns, and let's say that they were making the most of their adult-style recreational activity, and there was a huge sex toy shortage around the world. There was countries like Russia that were actually screaming out for sex toys. People would just say there was no stock, people couldn't get it from anywhere, and demand had never been higher. So there was a lady who got in touch with me who owned an adult store that was selling these kind of products. And she had a ton of stock, loads and loads of inventory, and she needed to get rid of it, obviously, because she'd bought it in. Now she needed to make her margin and make some actual money from it. And the world was screaming out for her product, but she only had really dodgy product shots that were terrible. She knew that if she was going to market to a more sophisticated market, which is many of the markets outside of Australia, frankly, she needed really high quality shots. So she got in touch. She asked if I could shoot these urgently. I had just been through a disastrous business situation because I couldn't get over to my studio, which was over the state line. Fortunately, I had some lights and a camera at home, and so I said, yes, send me that stuff. Let's get it shot, and we'll be able to market you in Russia, particularly where there was a ton of interest from, and get you selling and get the profit margins through the roof. So that's exactly what we did. So we shot these various things, and the hardest part of the job was explaining to my wife why a box full of dildos marked urgent was appearing at our doorstep, but that's a story for another time. So I wanted to show you these two hero shots here. So we've got the hero shot, which shows one of these products, which is looking really, really nice. It's a fantastic, I was gonna say it's looking really sexy. It's looking really nice. But what I would recommend, or what I recommended to the client at least, was not going with this lead shot that you would just typically go with because it shows the outside of the product, it's beautifully lit and so on, but going with the additional product shot, which was the product open, because this actually tells more of a story about its functionality in terms of that you've got a power setting and exactly, well, some other stuff, just some other stuff that we don't need to go into, where the target market might look at that and think, that's interesting. I'm having some creative ideas about how I might go into some deeper research on that while I'm locked down and bored and on my own. So this is exactly what we did. We led with this hero image, and I think this was a really good idea. And judging from the sales that she made, she was absolutely beside herself, and this stuff just sold out in an absolute heartbeat. It was fantastic. So we shot a bunch of stuff. I shot some close-up and detail shots as well because I had nothing else to do. I had literally lost my entire business overnight, and I knew it wasn't coming back for months. So I did what any business owner would do, and that was just try to over-deliver, really try to over-deliver and impress this client. So I ended up doing some fun little stop motion animations. They're hyper childish. I probably shouldn't show you, but I might put it over the top of this video right now. They were a giggle. The client was absolutely beside herself. They went off on her social media, that people were absolutely loving them. They generated more sales, bubba boobity. Everyone's happy, particularly all those lonely people who needed some stock that she had. So good times. So I hope that gave you guys some pause for thought in terms of your product and the lead image and how you might choose or at least strategize the lead image style that you're going to shoot that will maximize the number of clicks and sales conversions that you get. If you've got any questions, please do pop them in the comments or DM me alternatively. If you got some value from this video, please do like and subscribe, and I'll love you forever. And we'll see you on the next one.